Hello everyone, welcome again to a monthly update. Today is March 2nd, 2023, and today we'll be going through all of the projects that we have in our portfolio and give you some of the nuances that are happening with each. So again, Tom Staub, CEO of redoakdevelopmentgroup, and a lot of good news on our projects this month. We made a lot of progress to kick off the new year, if you will. Some big wins, a few exits, a few new deals that we're looking at that are very attractive. Talk about our master communities. We have some interesting things happening out in Arizona. And coming up here in about 6 weeks, we're going to launch a $100 million fund to help really solidify some of these projects. So more to come on that. Stay tuned and let's get started. So the first one, Meadowview Estates. This was a little property, 56 acres in Luling, Texas, where, again, the world's largest convenience store is, Buc-ee's. And so bought this deal several years ago. We had an idea, again, to make it 45 one-acre lots, and we were considering building this out ourselves with our own homes. We pivoted, made it just simple 19 lots as 1 to 2 acre lots for home buyers. We have sold 17 of 19 of those lots. Investors who are exiting the deal will be paid back in early April. And we have the majority of investors will stay in the deal and collect cash flow in perpetuity as long as these notes remain. We paid off the debt on this deal this week. So this is a successful exit with no more cash burn and all cash flows from here on out. So really solid work by the team here to get this one out and sold. We do have Nighthawk currently finishing the work on the water extension. We had to extend the line across the property there. So it's been great, and appreciate all the investors that trusted us to get that done, even in the tough environment that we have today. So good news there. Moving on to Lockhart 89, otherwise known as Sea Willow Ranch. This is this was our first deal in Lockhart, Texas, which I think is about to boom. I was just there yesterday talking to the county commissioners, and the amount of celebrities that are moving there. I just heard that the lead singer of the Black Pumas is now in Lockhart, and there's a variety of well-known bands moving to Lockhart, and I've seen the demographics change dramatically over the last 18 months into the hipster sort of artsy crowd, which is always a really solid indicator of a boom to happen. Money tends to follow the arts and the good food, and the arts are moving to Lockhart. So we'll see what happens here in the next 2 to 5 years, but I'm pretty bullish on the community. So really good news. We are 6 days away from having the preliminary plat approved for Lockhart 89. It's been a long 18 months to get this one across the finish line on that. That is a major milestone. We now will begin to finalize the construction plans, which we expect to have done and approved from the city by August, which means we go get construction financing here in about 2 to 3 months. And we already have our vendors lined up for that. And we'll have shovel in the dirt by September of this year. We expect to deliver about 200 lots up front, sometime in Q3 of next year, which is good timing because we think the market will be rebounded by then. So a lot of good work here. Viewpoint Engineering has been phenomenal on this effort, really speeding up the things. So yeah, big win here. And again, for any of you builders out there that want to buy lots, we have about half the lots currently inked. Braun and Guillen Homes will be our builders so far. We're talking to a few others that are interested. It's a great location, and it's actually adjacent to our master community, which I'll be inking that deal this Saturday over coffee. But we're going to build a massive community there with new hospitals, new schools, micro retail, multifamily, all kind of things. So more to come on that. Very excited. So yeah, big win here. And we go from there. The next one, Temple 75, another great project now called Pepper Creek Crossing. It's kind of a mouthful. We expect to have the preliminary plat approved this month as well. So another big win for the team in pushing this across the finish line. Temple has been great to work with. One thing we discovered in this process, again, for all you builders out there, there's no impact fees. So you can connect to water and sewer for $0, which is a very rare situation these days when the average impact fees in the area is like $12,000 to $15,000 per home. So it's a big savings for builders, big savings for developers, and that is the epitome of how you spur up growth in a community, and Temple's doing just that. Again, this site is 4 minutes from the $800 million Facebook data warehouse that they're building. 200 jobs, not massive, but it is a good iconic staple in the community. Again, so we'll have the preliminary plat approved this month. We will have the construction plans approved likely by June, July. In this one, we are not doing construction on the lots. We're going to sell them as entitled lots. There's 291 of them. We do have the 10 acres of commercial in contract for $2 million. We are selling the 19 acres of multifamily. 15.6 is usable. There's an easement that goes through a piece of it. So really it's only 15.6 acres. We're selling it for $662 a square foot for $4.5 million. So that is the price on that. And again, so this is really a deal that's entitled, chunked up into commercial, multifamily, in lots, and they're all being sold as entitled land. We do expect to exit this deal this year, paying back investors as the promised timeline of December of 2023. So more to come on that. Seguin 80. We have a temporary name. I'm not going to give it away. I'll give it away next month. It's pretty amazing, but I will more to come on the name. So great progress there as well. This deal we do have funded with our team out of Israel. Pretty exciting because we expected this to be delayed about 9 to 12 months due to water capacity, and our lawyer on the charge is making a lot of progress with some water suppliers out there. So we're actually feeling pretty bullish on this project. We're somewhat overcapitalized. If we move up that timeline 9 months, we're sitting on plenty of cash reserves. And so we're feeling pretty bullish to have this one, approved, preliminary plat approved this year, and construction next year to be delivering lots end of 2024, beginning of 2025. 315 lots, pretty simple, about 140-foot lots, 250-foot lots. It's a pretty straightforward deal, nothing too fancy on this one. Beautiful site, beautiful trees. There's a creek that goes behind the property. There's about 16 acres of parkland on this one out of 80 acres, so a lot of park and trails. But aside from that, pretty straightforward. It's a mile from the best high school in the area. So again, pretty bullish on this one as well. All right, going over to Arizona now. This community we have made, again, great progress on. We have our concept plan approved. We are waiting back for one last thing, which is the water study. We should get that any day now. When we get that, we're good to close on this deal, and we'll be raising capital to fund the deal. This is a beautiful property. We're going to build 80 luxury 3-story townhomes with the top having a view of a panoramic view of all the mountains around. If you haven't been to Flagstaff, it is a beautiful community, high desert, great temperature in the mid 80s in the summertime. It's a place where people go from Phoenix to get away from the heat. So one of the properties here I'll own myself. The site is absolutely perfect. It's 3 minutes from the university, 25, 30 minutes from the south rim of the Grand Canyon. So it's a wonderful property. So this one, again, we're going to have the entitlements approved this year. We'll have shovel in the dirt next year, and then hitting vertical in 2025, building our first 20 units. More to come on this one. There's some other interesting things we're looking at in terms of fractional ownership that might be a play here in our capital raise. We'll see as we go. All right, our master community. So after this call, I'm actually going down to Prairie Lea to sit with some commissioners to talk about what we're doing here. This is a massive 800-acre community, 10-year project, about 4 minutes south of Cherryville. There's a lot happening in that corridor. There's the 2,000-acre industrial park happening near San Marcos. There's Cherryville, which is a 3,500-acre mixed use 4 minutes north of this. Our partners are north of us here as well, 900 acres on their end. They're doing a mixed use commercial industrial. And then we're doing a predominant mixed use, heavy in the residential, some micro retail. We're giving 20 acres away to the school in exchange for them building a school in our community. We'll have an amphitheater here, a distillery or brewery, some barbecue, Again, a ton of micro retail. This one's going to be a pretty neat project. A quick little story. When I bought the land, the owner of the land made guitars for a living. So the handshake deal was that we would buy it from him, conditional that we would essentially theme the community in this music sort of, vibe. And it's kind of good timing because Austin's losing its flair as that music capital. And as everyone's retreating into Caldwell County, we're going to create that community to bring the artists to the community. So I'm really excited about this project. Again, Viewpoint Engineering is absolutely crushing it in terms of the timelines. We just submitted our development agreement to the county. We'll be doing a mud on this one, our own sewer plant, extending water lines, likely with Maxwell. We're still in talks, but we're making a lot of progress here, and we're actually in the process of talking to every landowner around this tract to acquire all the land and continue to expand this big community. So more to come on that. Before I forget, we're also, one thing that I'm very passionate about is we are going to be doing teacher housing in our big communities where we provide at-cost housing, 10 homes per year to teachers. So more to come on that, but a big initiative in our nonprofit space. Okay, going back to Arizona, a little luxury resort up near the Grand Canyon called the Outpost. This is a 12-unit luxury glamping site that we're doing. We're working with Live Oak Bank, who's been great to work with to get funding on this one, led by Andrew Spear, who's one of our debt brokers. He's fantastic. So this one should be funded and shoveled in the dirt in April. Having a small equity raise on this, but this is a pretty unique project, more of a passion project. And again, it'll be going towards the Grand Canyon, about 15, 20 minutes away from that on the South Rim, which sees about 7 million visitors per year. So, 12 units, 7 million visitors, should have a good chance to get those things booked up. So more to come on that. Again, we've made a lot of great progress on our design team and engineering with Viewpoint. We've submitted almost all documents. We expect to have final approval from the city, all permits for an April 1 shovel and dirt timeline. Moving on to what will be the biggest RV park in Texas, Pappy's World, 151 acres, really close to the world's largest convenience store, Buc-ee's. And so this will be, at least starting off, it'll be a 4-phase park, and then we'll expand as we see fit on market demand. But it'll be 360 RV slots with a variety of amenities and everything else. We're still going through a water study with Gonzales Water. Once we get that approval, then we'll proceed into the next steps. So we are on hold. Once we get more solidified on the feasibility, we will go out and raise capital for this. So more to come on that. Stay tuned. And so that wraps up our monthly update for March. Stay tuned for next month with a lot of updates. By then, we'll have a lot more solidified in terms of our projects. And of course, any questions, you know where to find me, Tom at redoakbc.com.